Welcome back, nerds. Fino here with a no bullshit guide for this year's Gilfest. It's a lottery event, and for those of you unfamiliar, it's the kind of event where you grind a currency that you throw into a lottery box and get prizes. In fact, lotto events are outstanding for accumulating a large number of resources. In this case, skill gems, QP, experience, friend points, mana prisms, and a quartet of specific skill items. Snake gems, meteor horseshoes, hero proofs, and fool's chains. So it's a good place to offload your apples, especially if you need those last four. The lotto also gives big diamonds which you can trade for certain shop items, eggs of truth, and command codes among other things. The most notable of these is Chain of the Heavens, which gives damage against divine enemies. At this point, I'd like to recommend clearing out every lottery box before resetting it, and to do at least the first 10 to get all the rare prizes like crystallized lores and 4-star foes. Because of the event's progression, the free quests will change every few days. The main farming nodes you'll be dealing with likewise change. The ones you need to worry about are the ones last on the list. These give lottery tickets so you get the most returns from min-maxing them. In Phase 1, it's a full caster node. In Phase 2, it's a saber node with a 3-2-3 distribution and a 45k health ruler Jean in the final wave. In the third and final phase of this event, it becomes a different saber node with a standard 3-3-3 distribution. For those of you in need of specific setups and damage ranges, I'll refer you to Saber of Avalon's and X0 spreadsheet. Alternatively, Kadroth has a video series detailing card-type based strategies. I'll link both down below. But generally, the theme of this event is that you want strong archers. Your Ishtars, Jean Archers, and Atalante are going to get you a lot of mileage here. Failing that, you can try to incorporate ones like Emiya and Arash and the like. Just remember that the lotto gives experience and materials, so feel free to dip into your winnings to power up key attackers. Using the event CEs well is also key to getting the most out of Gilfest. Scenic Beauty amplifies ticket drops, so you want to cram as many as possible into your farming teams. You can find 4 copies in the shop. As for the rest, you'll have to get them as free quest drops. Scenic Beauty also has a very useful effect outside of Gilfest, since it gives arts and buster effectiveness on top of a star dump effect. The latter is worth its weight in gold, and you should try to limit break at least one of these to make full use of it. The other CE is Jewel Bride, which gives a guts and some petty damage reduction. Within Gilfest, it gives a huge damage buff, meaning you'll be using this for the exhibition quests and some lower-end farming setups. Unfortunately, it has very little use once the event ends. You get this from the first 5 lottery boxes, and unlike last year's dreaded grudge match, it apparently doesn't drop from free quests. Thank fuck for that. But this brings me to the other half of Gilfest, the exhibition quests. These are challenge quests with additional restrictions. You can't use revives, so if you need to use command spells, use them on health and NP charges. There's another restriction in that you can't double up on servants with the same ID, so no double Scotty and no double Merlin. These are going to be released over the course of the event and begin with last year's set. I already have guides on those which I'll link in the description, but there's also a new set and it's the hardest to date. In my opinion, a few of the 2 Gilfest 2 exhibition quests are the hardest fights in Fate Grand Order, even to this date on JP. You can't even revive cheese them like some of the really brutal fights in Lost Belt 5.2 or Avalon LaFay. I'll be doing videos on the new set as they come out, though I'll note 2 things. One of them is the Brave Ellie quest, and that's my absolute favorite challenge quest in FGO. Challenging, but also something really different and good fun. Secondly, for most players, I recommend taking on these fights with an opportunistic mindset. You're not required to do them all in order, or even at all. Take a stab at them and see if your roster has enough depth to deal with a particular fight. Some, like the Romulus quest, might be straight up out of reach. Figure out which fights are write-offs, and write them off. Exhibition quests give a summon ticket and some materials. Nice to have, but they're mainly meant for people who want a serious challenge. If you're getting your shit pushed in and sick of it, don't be ashamed to go back to farming. Unless you're looking for a hard fight, these exhibition quests give your account a lot less value than the lottery, so be aware of how much time you're committing to them. Let's move on to the summoning banner. This one is Gilgamesh, Gorgon, and Taiga. If you're looking for power picks, you should wait for Saber Wars 2. But Gil is limited and the other 2 are story locked, so if you're a collector and looking to max out Taiga, there you go. But if you do plan to roll, try and snag copies of Round and Round. It gives starting charge, buster, and buster crit damage for a nice package of effects. Like all lotto events, Gilfest is an absolute treasure trove, and I'd recommend exploiting it while it's around. But if you're wondering how many apples you should spend, that depends. There are 2 other AP syncs coming later this year, and depending on what you need, you should reserve the majority of your apples for that. The Oni Land rerun comes first, and it features a change to the event's raid. It drops Eggs of Truth now. Eggs are a Lost Belt for material and generally inconvenient to farm in large numbers. The other AP sync is Christmas 5, another lotto event. That one gives Ghost Lanterns, Octuplet Crystals, Forbidden Pages, Dragon Fangs, and a special ticket that you can trade for Phoenix Feathers, Giant Rings, or the oh-so-valuable Chaos Claws. So look at the material requirements for the servants you want, and decide if Gilfest gives you the most bang for your buck. Subscribe for more Gilfest videos, specifically on the exhibition quests. That aside, like if you found this useful, and come watch me at twitch.tv/RenoTyson, where I stream every weekend, 3 PM Pacific time, Friday through Sunday. This weekend I'll be doing some farm and chill streams as I do the not sane thing and grind up to my self-imposed quota. Send help.